tension in the body is a contraction against the present moment. It's some level of the body defending itself against what it senses might be a threat.
When we talk about feeling alive, one of the key places where we sense our energy and vitality is in the body. In the next few minutes, Dr. Tara Brach will share one strategy that she uses to help clients work with the body to get back in touch with their aliveness.
Maybe to share with you my own experience in terms of moving from feeling less alive to more alive, just because it might be useful to those listening. I was asked on a recent interview what I attributed my drive and my confidence to. And I confessed that really I thought that it all started with feeling very driven and insecure. And I speak quite honestly that, I grew up in a family where, high performers, and the anxiety was about, am I good enough? And felt very compelled to achieve in order to get the love and the approval that I wanted. And so that was, the drivenness was there, and yet it wasn't a feeling of aliveness. It was a feeling of tense and insecure. But over the years, I started doing just what we've been sharing here, Ruth, where I'd start scanning and sensing how that insecurity was in my body as kind of a clench in the chest or in the belly. And I would start bringing just a simple kindness and mindfulness to it. And that started loosening the clench. And so what felt like drivenness became a natural kind of energy to serve and to create and to live fully. So the energy was in it. It was just frozen in a kind of clench of drivenness. But with mindfulness, it got released into more of a natural flowing kind of a energy. And same thing for the insecurity, the tightness of the insecurity, when I brought a lot of compassion to it, actually opened into a trust, not in a self as much, but in this kind of universal aliveness that was flowing through me. So I share that because where we're stuck and where we're blocked from feeling fully alive is exactly the place, if we pay attention, that can bring the full sense of flow and that whole mystery of aliveness. Rumi has a wonderful line that says, it's not about seeking for love, it's about recognizing the barriers we've erected against it. And it's exactly the same with aliveness, that we don't have to seek aliveness. It's like what we are is aliveness and awareness right here. But we have habit patterns of cutting off. And so one of the first steps is to recognize how we're cutting off. So right as you're listening right now to these words, if you scan your body, you might notice that there's places in your body where there's tightness or tension. And in a way, tension in the body is a contraction against the present moment. It's some level of the body defending itself against what it senses might be a threat. So in any moment that you feel that tension, I mean, if you take your hand and you make a fist and you squeeze it, and that's a kind of like, okay, I'm going to protect myself against something. The way back to aliveness is by recognizing the tension in the fist and then just softening or loosening. So it's a releasing of the barrier that we've created to the flow. And the main place that we have tension and blocks is through the mind. In any moment that we're worrying and planning, we're going to be cut off from the full flow of aliveness in our body. The word for worry in the English language has some synonyms of strangle and choke. And so if we're talking about cutting off aliveness, worry thoughts cut off aliveness. So again, just like the tense fist, if we sense our thoughts as a mental contraction and we notice them and then just do some letting go, again, we get to restore some of the natural flow of aliveness in our body-mind.
So Tara was able to transform her drivenness when she focused on releasing the tension in her body. That drive went from being the type of energy that fed insecurity to the type that fueled service and creativity. Now I'd like to hear from you. How have you used mindfulness in your work to restore a sense of aliveness? Please leave a comment below, and thanks for watching.